My 27 female boyfriend, 28 male, is obsessed with my ex, 27 male. We've been together for 2 years before this. I would say our relationship was very close to perfect.
Like, sorry, continue. I was going to say obsessed, like he thinks he's cool, or obsessed with like looking at him.
You're about to find out.
Okay.
At the beginning of the year, though, my boyfriend and I were at a grocery store, and we bumped into my ex and another friend. This was the first time they had ever met each other. We made polite conversation before going our separate ways. My boyfriend made a sarcastic comment about how nice my ex was when he was out of earshot. I didn't think much of it at the time. A few weeks after this, I noticed he was on my ex's Facebook page. When I asked him what he was doing, he shrugged it off and said he was curious because he saw my ex had commented on Luke, a mutual friend of ours, post. He's since friended him on there and claimed my ex was the one to initiate it. He's followed him on Instagram and Twitter too. He comments on a lot of his posts, but my ex rarely comments back. He also somehow got Luke to invite him.
Rarely, but he still does.
Some interaction. He somehow got Luke to invite him to my ex and his friends' weekly virtual hangouts. I mentioned I found it weird that they were hanging out, but he dismissed it and said it wasn't a big deal. He also started talking about changing his career path to what my ex is doing and makes snide comments about if his dad paid his way for him, he could take me on fancy trips too.
Because the ex did?
Yeah, it sounds like it. He's also become incredibly passive-aggressive towards me and makes comments about how if my ex didn't move abroad for a few years, we probably would have never dated. If I say no to anything, including sex, he comments about how he bets I wouldn't say no if my ex was the one asking.
Jeez.
He also got really sulky when he realized I still had a gift my ex gave me.
What was the gift?
I don't know, but
dildo.
No, but if it's a nice purse, like you're not going to throw that
right,
away.
Of course not.
Like a present is a present.
Yeah.
Like
I would never. And like I also, I just have like a good relationship and friendship with my ex. So if he got along with my current boyfriend, I would be like, that's cool. But
yeah.
I would not be like, go to a boys' weekend.
Yeah.
That's
don't
weird.
go out of your way to like hang out with him or be friends with him.
Right. But if they were in the same setting, they get along, like I would love that because like I have a good relationship with my ex. I would just be scared that they would like talk shit about me. Like, oh, when she's mad and she makes this face.
Oh my God.
But other than that, I'd be like, you know, it's cool. However, once you introduced all the rest of the things that he's doing, making those comments, because I was like, okay, maybe
Super
he just likes the guy. Like maybe
super insecure.
But no, it's like it's almost it seemed like he liked the guy and just thinks he's cool and is like, yeah, like we had a great conversation when we were at this cabin about like what he's doing. I'm really interested in it. Like all that stuff is like, yeah, it's kind of weird, but
throw it all together.
Yeah,
and
it's like, yeah, this other stuff
over the top.
That's not good. This is really bad.
No. Yesterday, we had a massive fight over it because I wanted to spend time together, but he ditched me to go hang out with my ex.
Wow.
I got so upset, I told him he might as well date my ex instead. I don't really know what to do now. He's giving me the silent treatment, and I heard him tell my ex what I said, which is really humiliating. What can I do to make him stop hanging out with my ex? I just like, this is so weird. If their relationship was like, if they had a bad breakup. Why is that
humiliating?
It's just like embarrassing. She's clearly like jealous, insecure, annoyed.
Right. Like, and that's true. Like the ex is probably like, wow, she said that. Like, why is she so jealous? Like, we're just friends. Like, sorry that we get along.
Yeah. No,
we have mutual interests.
Yeah. I want to be him. This to me, like this dude is clearly like super insecure. There's definitely more like going on here, but like the snide comments, like, you wouldn't say no if your ex was asking, especially about sex.
Yeah.
Like you should never pressure your partner into sex or then guilt trip them or make them feel shitty when you say no.
Right. When you said that was kind of enough for me to be like, he's just not the one for you.
No.
He's just not.
No.
There's too many issues that he has to work through.
Yeah.
That it doesn't sound like he's a horrible guy, but like he did befriend and become friends with someone that he is also extremely jealous of.
Yeah.
And that's just...
It's weird.
And he's jealous of because of like his girlfriend. Like that whole combination is just like it's going to fail. No matter like if he continues down this path, it's going to fail. Like I don't really see, I think that he could have a friendship with this guy if he wasn't throwing comments like that, especially like throwing them about sex too, like shaming you for not having sex. That's never okay.
No.
And so I think that if that wasn't involved, then they could have a good little friendship going on. But I would definitely say this is not the guy for you. And you can explain to him like how it makes you feel, but at the end of the day, I don't think that there's going to be a future if things continue down this way.
No, not at all. The top comment on this one: if you want to be so much like my ex, I will just break up with you too. I like it.
That's hot.
That's really cocky.
I'm turned on.
I like it a lot. So she gives an update.
Okay.
So she gave the update 9 days ago. This post the original one I read was 3 months ago. So the update was really recent.
Okay.
So after my last post, I tried to take the advice in the comments and suggested couples counseling. And I asked my boyfriend to cut off my ex, but he got angry at me again. He claimed I was the one who needed therapy because I had jealousy issues and that my ex was one of his good buddies and I couldn't dictate who he was friends with. Then, a week later, he had another hangout with my ex and his friends where he proceeded to very loudly tell them how I was so insecure and I was trying to tell him who he could speak to.
He's so done. He's so far done.
No second chance.
Where
for this
even
son.
is the relationship in this? Like I can't, like it's so hard for me to even picture them being happy together.
They were dating for 2 years.
That's insane.
2 years. This to me sounds like what age is he? 28. I was going to say like typically mental illnesses come out in your early 20s and he could have one and it's just kind of coming to surface. But like this sounds like something this doesn't sound normal. This sounds like very just almost like he's
Gone Girl.
ill. Just not, this just isn't healthy or normal.
It's just
become
like
so obsessed.
Exactly.
Like this.
And it wouldn't, like I said, it wouldn't look like it's obsessed if he didn't make comments like that.
Yeah.
That's what scares me. Cause that's
really,
like, that's not okay. If he was just friends with him, it's like, yeah, it's a little bit weird, but like, sorry, if they get along really well, like
they clicked,
who cares?
whatever.
Who cares? Yeah. And another thing that I would not be okay with is the fact that he's just like divulging this. Like she's so insecure, whether that be true or not true, or whether he's like that's not okay.
No, you don't talk shit about your partner.
And that's
especially
kind of,
to her ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like, it's an uncomfortable situation.
And that's kind of something that I realized like with like being so, emotional this weekend and just trying to figure out communication with my boyfriend and like how we can communicate best with each other. Something I realized about my friends that I really appreciate and value is that when I'm sad or like stressed or whatever about something like a relationship, it's like you sat down with me and you just like walked through it with me, like from a very like third party perspective. Like you're saying like, this is probably where he was feeling when you were communicating this, and this is probably why the defense went up and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's a really good picture, like holistic picture. People talking to their friends being like, oh, they're so insecure loudly, like that is so not okay.
No, and there's a difference between like venting and trying to like talk about something and rationalize it with another person. Talking to your friend and trying to be like, I just don't understand where he was coming from. Like, what's your take on this? Like, what do you think? And then you're just throwing your partner under the bus. Like, you're truly shit talking.
Yeah. And I think maybe sometimes you do need a shit talk or vent or something, but then do it to someone that isn't so involved in like what the issue is.
Yeah.
Cause that sucks. Like do it, like talk to your mom about it and be like, oh, she's so insecure, I'm so frustrated, like something like that. But like to talk to the person that you're like claiming that she's insecure about, like their friendship, that's not cool.
He's fishing for attention from this person.
Right.
Like he's fishing
maybe he's
for the
maybe
ex.
he's gay.
Something. My ex and Luke, who's the mutual friend, had to tell him to stop, which he didn't like at all. I should have just broken up with him at this point, but I was stupid and still clinging to the hope.
Wait, the ex told him to stop too?
Yeah. The ex was like, shut up, buddy. Yeah, that's when you know it's bad.
That's when you really know.
That's when you know it's bad. I should have just broken up with him at this point, but I was stupid and still clinging to the hope of my boyfriend going back to how he was. Mm-hmm. After this happened, my boyfriend was constantly making jabs at my ex and Luke, and then he would still contact them and pretend to be friends with them. Then he became super interested in what my sex life was like with my ex.
Oh my God.
He was constantly asking me who was better between the two of them. And he would ask me if I had done this or done that with my ex.
Damn. I could see him like in a different scenario, if all this wasn't the case, I could see someone being like, I want to do something with you that you've never done with anyone before.
Yeah.
You know, I could see that. This is crazy.
Yeah. I
Like-
read this to Justin, my boyfriend. I like got to this part and he's like, well, like, I don't know. Like, I've asked you about, you know, past partners and like things you've, you know, tried, or if there's anything else you're interested in. And I'm like, you're not asking me in a way that you're curious about my ex.
Or it's the whole layup of this.
Yeah. Like there's so many other factors
So many
here
factors that
makes
like
this.
if that was the only instance, if he was just like, am I better than your ex, then and like that's only the comment and that was the story, then it's just kind of like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's the combination of all of these things together that makes it kind
He
of.
literally wants to be the ex.
Yeah.
He wants to be him.
Yeah. I feel like we see movies about stuff like this.
Like that Beyonce movie, Obsessed, or whatever it was.
Oh, I never watched that. But
Good.
I did hear about that.
Yeah. She goes on to say, I kept telling him I didn't want to talk about it and to stop asking me. I then find out from my ex and Luke that he has been asking my ex directly the same questions.
Wow.
Wow.
How does the ex handle that? Like, how does he respond?
Doesn't really say. And that he has been bragging about our sex life to his friends. My ex said he was telling me because my boyfriend made a comment about loaning me to my ex if he ever felt like recreating old times. Wow. That was the final straw for me, and I broke up with him and moved out. My now ex.
They were living together?
Yeah.
Damn.
2 years. I mean, that's a good chunk of time.
I just didn't know they were living together, but I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
How old are they again?
27
Wow.
and 28. My now ex-boyfriend didn't take the breakup well, and he went on a smear campaign. He even contacted my family and my ex's family to tell them we were apparently having an affair and that he had no choice but to break up with me.
What's wrong with him?
It's been almost a month since we broke up, and he keeps getting new numbers to text and call me. Yeah, I really think this is like a mental illness.
Absolutely.
Like this is not normal, and like I think it's gotten to the point where
of him, honestly.
Yeah, like no, OP needs to get a restraining order or some sort of protective order because this is not normal. To then like lie and manipulate and like totally change the situation and call your ex's family, and not only just your ex's family, you call that guy that you're obsessed with and you've been trying to be friends with and basically be.
Unreal. Obviously, there's a lot of other details, and it's way easier said than done when you're in a situation. But I just can't even imagine her staying with him for as long as she did because
I would have been done after.
Oh my God.
The first like.
But it's hard because she has like what she was saying. She has these memories of how he was before.
Yeah.
And now it's just like she's just waiting for that to come back, but it hasn't come back. You know, that's
It's
so
really
scary.
tough. And
so, what is she looking for? Is she just looking like what
she just thought was just an update.
She just okay.
Yeah, the first post.
Because you said that it was like 3 months ago.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah. So it took like 3 months for them to break up. I'd be scared.
It's hard because I'm picturing him just being this little punk ass bitch. But you have to like remember that there's other things that he does too. He's probably being sweet some other times, or like I don't know.
Well, I think she was just like she said, kind of holding out hope that
Waiting that he would be himself again.
Yeah. Which again, like, how do you just flip a switch after 2 years and become obsessed with someone like that?
That's crazy. Like if it was the beginning of their relationship and he got really insecure, like right after he met this guy, but like after being together for that long and then deciding to, I'm surprised the ex like wanted to be friends with him. Like I'm surprised he didn't see some other red flags too.
Seriously, really, really strange. Well, I'm glad she got out.
Me too.
Didn't give him another
Restraining
chance.
order. I would change my name.
Go to the witness protection program.
Literally. I get scared with people like that.